So I stumbled across this link to an additional video that was taken from across the street, the off-duty Milwaukee officer shooting. But here's what I learned. The officer did exactly what I had guessed that he would do, which was to use the full length of his vehicle as cover. Essentially what he's doing there is he's taking the unjust aggressor, the guy that smacked him in the face with the pistol, he's taking him out to the deep. What do I mean by the deep? Well, it's similar to what a crocodile would do to its prey. It's going to drag it offshore out to the deep. The deep you could define as a place of disadvantage, a place where the unjust aggressor, he doesn't shoot so well. But you, the innocent law-abiding person of goodwill, providing that you've done the work to get better at things like marksmanship, well, you do shoot well. You could also look at the deep like to lead your adversary to a funnel where you're in a good position beyond that funnel, or stack a couple of blind corners and get small. The point is, you know where he's going to be in the next few seconds, and he has to first round that blind corner, enter into that funnel as it were, before he can locate where you are. So maybe be back here, getting small, but ready up. It looks to me like the officer was behind his truck, leaning out, so that what would be visible to his adversary would be not much. Look at the distance. I'm going to guesstimate this at 20 to 25 yards, 60 to 75 feet. Most bad guys, not all, there's exceptions, but most bad guys, they don't shoot so well at greater distances. So this is taking him out to the deep. This is forcing your game where you stack the odds. This is to not play his game with those close contact gunfights, but finding a way to expand distance and to get small. Here's a picture of me demonstrating this for one of the courses that I taught. It's on some friend's property and it's a really old, really large tree. Note how you can only see basically my dominant eye, a slice of my head, my forearm, and the muzzle of the firearm that I'm holding in my hand, which actually was just a blue gun training aid. But you get the point. That cover, that big old thick tree, it's going to stop any incoming little projectiles from hitting anything that's not exposed, that you can't see. That's what I believe this officer did. He got small. That's what it means to get small. As the bad guy came around his last point of cover, you can argue that last point of concealment, I'm arguing it's cover in this circumstance. Well, he overexposed himself. We're not seeing just part of his head, dominant eye, forearm, and muzzle. We're seeing his entire torso and head. He got big. This is what it means to break cover and get big. Based on how fast everything happened initially, it's just a guess, but it's my guess that this is where the fight got stopped. This is where the imminent deadly force threat got stopped, and it ended that threat. Think about it. By this point in the gunfight, this guy, the initial unjust criminal aggressor, well, he is in full flight. Look at his hips. Look at his shoulders. Look at his head. He's not even looking at the off-duty police officer anymore. He is committed to heading for the cover of the front of his vehicle. So in his mind, his adversary is right here. It's only after this that we see the officer begin to move backwards, walking backwards towards the rear of his truck. So as the unjust aggressor rounds the front of his vehicle, he has to search for the off-duty police officer. If it's you in this situation, he has to look for you. You don't want to be standing in the same place that the bad guy last remembers seeing you. You want to have moved, because that is probably where he's thinking you're going to be. Rather, you want to get small. You want him to have to visually search for where you're located. Why? Well, that visual search, it's going to take a little bit of time. Yeah, it's probably fractions of a second, but those are fractions of a second that you're stacking in your favor. It is not uncommon for 2 or 3/10 of a second to mean the difference between winning or losing. Whenever you get an opportunity to stack the odds, do so.